Pranams at the beautiful feet of our beloved Lord. Sai Ram to all. To continue my stories from my college days, we girls were often brought to Puttaparthi for the weekends when Swami would usually give us an interview on Sunday evening before we went back to the hostel. Sometimes Swami would also come to visit us. He would stay for a day or two, or sometimes he even came for a day. We were not allowed to come on our own to Puttaparthi unless we were brought in a group. And if we had to come, if our parents had come, then we had to take permission from our madams. One day, Swami had come, and before he was leaving, he turned to me and he said, "Send a telegram to your parents, ask them to come to Puttaparthi." And then he turned to our principal madam and told us, "And Jayashree to Puttaparthi, her parents will be coming there." So when my parents arrived, my brother came and got me from Anandapur and I went to Puttaparthi. In those days, Sai Gita, Swami's elephant, would be given a bath and vibhuti put on her huge forehead, and she would be standing on the side of the ladies' side of the ashram. And she would have a garland in her hand, and during evening bhajans, when Swami came out, Swami would go near her and she would garland him. Some of us would take oranges and apples and bananas to give to Swami to feed Sai Gita. So Swami would go back and forth collecting the fruits and then going and feeding her. She would also creep up to Swami and try to hold him around his waist. And it was a very beautiful interaction between Sai Gita and Swami. I was seated in the front row, and the mother of one of my friends, who was also studying in Anandapur, this lady was a permanent inmate of the ashram. She was sitting next to me. So when Swami came near her, she looked at Swami and asked, "Swami, may namaskar karo?" She asked it so sweetly, meaning, "Swami, may I do namaskar?" And Swami looked down at her and gently smiled and he said, "Ha, karo karo bangaru," meaning do bangaru. So this lady did Path Namaskar to Swami, and when Swami came near me, I also wanted to get a Path Namaskar the way Swami gave her. So I also asked him, "Swami, may namaskar karu?" He looked at me and he said, "Ni talakaya," meaning your head. And he laughed and he moved away. He didn't give me namaskar. I was upset for a little while, but then I said, "Okay, if Swami doesn't want to give, it's okay." I had forgotten about this incident. And many months later, it was college day and Swami had come for the college day celebrations. I was given a piece of embroidery cloth to do the embroidery on it, and it was to be a cushion cover for Swami's footstool for that day evening's program. So it was a lot of work, it was a blue background with pink lotuses to be stitched on it. So I was busy trying to complete this in time. And I was in one of the classrooms on the second floor. I was all by myself. I was sitting and trying to finish this work. As you all know, Swami's room is on the first floor of the hostel. So all the preparations were going on for the celebration of the college day. And the girls were all busy here and there doing whatever was allotted to them. While I was doing this stitching, suddenly I noticed somebody standing in the doorway. And I looked up, a little bit annoyed, "What are you looking at, like that." So I turned around and looked, and there was Swami standing there with a big smile on his face, and he was leaning on the doorway. So I immediately jumped up and I folded my hands, and then Swami came near me and he took that cloth and he said, "What are you doing?" Then I told him, "Swami, I'm doing this embroidery of lotuses for a footstool to be placed at your feet in the evening." And Swami looked at it for a few moments and then he said, "Are you stitching me?" I still don't know what he meant by this. But then suddenly out of nowhere, these words came out of my mouth. I asked him, "Swami, may namaskar karu? May I do namaskar?" And he had this most tender expression on his face and he said, "Ha, ha, karo bangaru," So I fell at his feet and did padanamaskar for a few moments, and I was so happy that Swami gave me the padanamaskar exactly the way I wanted it. This is a very beautiful, unforgettable moment with Swami. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.